You know, I used to think life was going to turn out a certain way, and I was always holding out for that reality to take place, and felt like I was making space for it, and a lot of it never happened for me. And that was a tough pill to swallow for a long time. But eventually I've begun to realize that your life really ends up taking a course that builds you and trains you to become who you might be most fit to be, and allows you to understand things that you wouldn't otherwise understand. Like for me, for example, I could have really exceeded very highly at the age of 20, and I was set up to. And then I fell in love with a psychopath and did psychedelics every single weekend for 2 years consecutively, while being reverse therapized by this person. And that was disruptive for me. And I worked in fields that I valued instead of fields that made money, like really a lot of plant-based things. I didn't want to get into the corporate world. And I chased after a sense of magic that had me pretty disconnected from time and responsibility. And for me, that goes back to having a childhood where I had no peace and freedom, and didn't get to do the things I wanted to do when I was young. And so it was always like putting things off for later. And a lot of these different things in my life added up to me not experiencing what I wanted to out of the world. But now, at 29, I think I'm doing pretty good. I think I have a pretty good life direction. I know what I want to commit towards and prioritize, and what I'm going to need to sacrifice so I can make all that happen. And it's giving me perspective into other people's lives that I would not have if I succeeded early on. I would probably be pretty cocky. I would probably think that I knew better than other people, and that my success wasn't accidental, but that it was something I worked hard to create. And I think the truth is, for a lot of young people, and a lot of people who are established in their careers at 30, it's accidental. They got lucky, they got the right job offering, they stuck with it, they did the responsible thing. And it's a mix of that responsibility and organization. And, I guess this video is kind of a ramble, but I feel like that's what I need to do for this channel starting off, is really just start to speak my perspective into the world and share what I've learned. And I think a lot of people are... Can I go this way? No, I fucking can't. Okay. Sorry, guy. I think a lot of people are struggling with life these days. That it's none of it really feels that rewarding. We're like trapped in this fucking stupid 9-to-5 rat race shitty lifestyle, and nobody fucking wants it. And there's some people who are just off to experience their wildest dreams, never got held back in their 20s, and they get to do all sorts of wild, cool stuff that I really wish I could have done. And that's great for them. But there's a lot of people in the world who are struggling with the reality they live in. I gotta wave my hand for this ticket. Wave. Hey. And I relate to you people who didn't get exactly what you wanted, who didn't have parents that set you up, who had crazy, unhelpful girlfriends, who have a creative and unclear life path to live out. And you people are fucking needed. You are valuable. And just because you didn't succeed right off the bat, or just because you've been offset pretty hard by something, doesn't mean you don't have an incredible life ahead of you. But you have to believe that it can be different, and you have to believe that you are going to be a different person. You are not going to get there being and doing the things that you've done before. We all know that. But it's hard in practice to actually make those changes happen because you've got a lifestyle you're ingrained in, and that lifestyle is going to push you and reward you to continue doing the same things because you're like in a current, like in a river, like it's pushing you a certain way, and now you're fucking in it. If you want to get out of that, you have to swim hard, but you also can't just swim against the current, and you got to swim perpendicular to it so that you can get to the shoreline, so that you can like get up out of that water and go for a really shitty like bushwhacking sort of hike. If you can't do that, you're gonna be in the same loop over and over and over again. How many times have you decided, I'm gonna get something done today? And you go to set yourself up for a great day. You get up early, you start everything out, and at the end of the day, somehow you still feel like, damn, I really didn't get much done. Well, that's just a fact of reality that sometimes things aren't as efficient as you'd like them to be. And some days you kick ass, you know, but some days don't go that well. And so if you think you're going to get out, this is what I'm trying to say. If you think you're going to get out of the chapter that you're in, you're very, very wrong. Unless you're giving it everything you have. This has been my experience. Maybe this is my karma and not yours. You gotta filter and scrutinize everybody you listen to on here. I don't want to give you some false limitations that you don't need. But in my experience, if you want to get out, you have to figure out what the priorities are for your goals at hand. You have to look at all the things that you're trying to do and achieve, and you have to narrow it down to the few things that you can do every single day that are going to start to move the lever. For me, that's making money with my art. It's making money with the blackberry removal that I'm doing and with construction, so that I can build these artistic pursuits, so that I can get on with my life. There's a lot of things I don't have time for that I want to have time for. And I would suggest to you that all the things that you feel you don't have time for, that you want to have time for, that you ruthlessly, mercilessly progress those things on the side in the sloppiest way that you can haphazardly make time for. And then you focus on the few fucking things that are going to get you out of the energy suck that you're in. Because once you clear those blockages of working a job that pays you fuck all wages, and has you working every goddamn day of the week, you know, that's a great example that most of us are trapped in. Once you clear that, you have time again to work on that other shit. But if you just try to do all the little things in your tiny bits of free time between that job and you're waking and sleeping, you're not going to get there. So just consider that maybe you're closer than you think to your dreams. Maybe you can still apply more effort and become more efficient and creative about solving those problems. And maybe some things can only be fixed with a hammer. Anyways, I hope you have a great day and you stop being so fucking sorry for yourself, because that never helped me. Have a good day.